right, welcome to day one of the 7-day training challenge. So what we're going to work on over the next 7 days is our lead walking skills and teaching a dog to walk nicely on a loose lead. So there'll be exercises for you to practice each day to get the dog to a point that they're walking really nicely on a nice loose slack lead. So Shakaya here has previously not done any training. So as you can see, she is quite exuberant and bouncy on the end of the lead. So we're going to use her training to show you how it works. So some of the reasons that dogs pull, so the main reason is to get where they want to go quicker and sooner. So the more you follow along, the more you're reinforcing that works for the dog. As you can see, she's got quite a history of pulling and has gotten used to that idea. The more you follow along, the more you're reinforcing that pulling's going to work. So the other reason is you have instinctual drive. So if you've got a breed that was bred for pulling or for weight work, or you're guarding breeds that also used to pull carts, then you'll see that they've got more drive and more desire to pull. So the first step is that we want to stop reinforcing the pulling. So every time she pulls, if we follow along behind her, then we're reinforcing that behaviour and teaching her that that's how she gets to where she wants to go. Eventually, the walk becomes the reinforcer in itself. So moving forward is the reward for not pulling. And by the end of it, we want the dog to be walking nicely and paying attention to us. So before we start any training, a couple of things to take into consideration and keep in mind is, one, thinking about the equipment. So depending on the dog, their reinforcement history, their pulling abilities, to whether you need to change to some equipment that makes it easier for you to train. Equipment definitely doesn't resolve training, but it does make it easier. If they've got a history of pulling, if they're used to pulling, then having them on equipment that they haven't gotten used to pulling on. Sometimes just simply changing from something that they have a history with, where they know that pulling works, to something that they don't have a history with can make a big difference. So for her, I've just got a martingale, so it's easy for me to get her attention with a slight correct and release. And also lead position. So I always hold the lead in the opposite hand to where I want the dog. So the hand that's closest to the dog is free to direct them. I try and also encourage and keep the lead as close to the central of my body as possible, so that there's no accidental reinforcement. When she pulls, if we're holding the lead like this, our arm just naturally is going to move a little bit, which gives her a little bit of reinforcement and encouragement to keep trying. So we want to reduce any opportunities for her to be reinforced or encouraged for pulling, and to feel like there's a motivator to keep trying. So the next couple of videos are going to be more practical. So today is just an introduction to get us onto the idea of what we're going to be working on. By the end of the video, you'll see a different dog than this dog that's quite excited, quite a menace on the lead, to a dog that's really nice and calm, walking to my side and focused on me. But the rest of our training will all be practical. So what I want us to do as homework for this first training session is to just practice and just get our dog used to the leash, the pressure, release, and just making sure you're using equipment that gets their attention.